All right, Cowboys Nation, buckle up because tonight's show is different. This isn't another mid-season vibes video. This is the kind of video you drop when a franchise suddenly goes from we might sneak into the playoffs to we are going for it right now. 4-4. The Dallas Cowboys are officially working on 4 defensive signings right now in November to try to win the Super Bowl this season. Not next year, not when the cap resets, not when contracts clear. This year, Jerry Jones said urgency was real. Nobody believed him, and suddenly the entire NFL is looking over here like, whoa, Dallas is actually loading up. So do not miss this episode. Before we continue, make sure you smash that like button, and if you're new, hit that subscribe so we can finally break through our goal of 10,000 subscribers here on Dallas Cowboys Today. It's free, it helps more than you think, and if you're a real fan, you belong here. Because now we get into what's truly insane. We're gonna look at how ESPN reacted to these 4 defensive pickups and how they think this changes the entire trajectory of our season. Because now the question isn't, will we sneak into a wild card? The new question is Dallas now legitimately alive again in the Super Bowl race? Let's get into it.
Flurry of moves during this show alone. Breaking news from our Adam Schefter, the Cowboys acquiring defensive tackle Quinnen Williams in a trade with the Jets. Defense has been an issue in Dallas since trading Micah Parsons. Jerry Jones attempting to address those concerns today by adding Williams and linebacker Logan Wilson from the Bengals. Now, defense has been a hot topic in Dallas all season. As you can see, they're trying to address that. These are the moves that the Cowboys have made today. They started the day with Logan Wilson from the Bengals before Quinnen Williams from the Jets for a pair of picks. Let's talk about it. Back with us, NFL analyst Marcus Spears and Mike Tannenbaum. Marcus, we're coming at you first. Jerry Jones taking big swings today. How much do these moves, in your opinion, raise the Cowboys' ceiling this season?
It raises their ceiling. I don't know about this season, Jay. I think they're definitely going to be better on their unit. Look, this game is still about players. Mike T knows that. That's why people spend money. That's why people spend so much time trying to figure out who they're going to draft and who you can get free agency-wise. And one of my gripes with Dallas over the last few years is that they haven't supplemented how well they've actually done in drafting players. They've been one of the best franchises in drafting and developing talent. But the free agency supplementation is what has shown itself to be one of those reasons you have a chance to win championships over the last few years. So I love the Quinnen Williams pickup. I like the fact that Logan Wilson is coming in as well. I think he's a good linebacker that's going to increase the way that unit plays as well. But I also just went on Instagram, Jay, and Mike T, and I said, why not we just go nuclear here in Dallas and go get Trey Hendrickson too if we can pull it off? And that'll really make my day. Y'all can have me on the show till midnight if we go get Trey Hendrickson today.
Have you figured out your happy dance if that happens?
No, that's going to require a full body shot today. That won't happen until I'm in studio somewhere.
That would be interesting. So, with that in mind, it would be. With that in mind, sir, Mr. Mike T, what other moves do you want to see Dallas make before 4 p.m.?
You know, Jay, if Trey Hendrickson is like the main course, I have like a little bit of an appetizer. We saw them address, all of the levels of their defense. Logan Wilson at linebacker, Quinnen Williams at defensive line. How about a corner? Maybe an Alante Taylor. Good corner from the Saints. Saints are obviously in a rebuild.
Yep,
and then Reek Woolen. Now, I don't think Seattle is selling right now, but Reek Woolen's been beaten out. They have great depth in that Seattle secondary. So we know Dallas is struggling at all 3 levels of their defense, Swagoo. So to me, if they could add a corner to go along with Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson, that's good work in a couple days.
Okay, Mike T, staying with you because you had decades of front office experience, so it's time to make a deal. Give us some proposals that you think make sense ahead of 4 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, Jay, first one, Buda Baker to the Buffalo Bills.
Interesting. Okay, Marcus, which of those 3 trades you like the most?
The Brees trade. The Brees trade to the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they need an explosive run game. And Mike T, we've seen teams adjust to this offense and figure things out. But that is the thing that could set the Kansas City Chiefs right back into that situation where they almost become unstoppable. They need to bring your own, a BYOB type running back as well. Bring your own blocker, and that's Breece Hall. The explosion too. That was Pacheco. Pacheco was the fast back that you get in space and he gets downhill. He's obviously suffered some injuries. Breece, obviously off of ACL, has come back and proven that he can continue to stay healthy. He's a physical runner in between the tackles. You can run that zone scheme that Andy Reid likes to run as well. Get him on the outside. I think he would be a phenomenal matchup with Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce and what they do offensively in Kansas City.
All right, Marcus, before we let you go, I'm going to give you the floor to make your plea to Jerry Jones for whichever move that you'd like to see next that would make you do your happy dance full body in front of the camera.
Jerry, so last night, Jay, we were at Dallas for Monday Night Countdown, and I was at center field with Stephen A, and we was about to interview we're about to interview George Pickens. And Jerry walked up. He had I think the commissioner from the National Hockey League, and they were about to announce that they're going to have a game. Jerry didn't even want to talk to me. Didn't want to shake my hand. Didn't want to look me in the eye because you know how I am about Dallas. I'm crazy about him, so it makes me a little bit more critical about him. But Jerry, this is a phenomenal day, by the way. Let me give you credit for what you did today because you've said a lot, but now the actions are matching up with what you said. But go and get Trey Hendrickson would put the NFL on notice. It would actually put the Dallas Cowboys back in that conversation for a team that could viably vie for a championship. Defensively, we know we need the help. Offensively, I think we're going to get better. It's really good pieces over there, young offensive line. I think things are going to continue to trend, even though the past 2 weeks haven't been what we thought would consistently happen. Trey Hendrickson, Quinnen Williams, OC Odighizuwa, and also you brought in, obviously, on trades, the back end needs help and all of that. But pass rush and guys that can play the run as well would absolutely make this defense immediately better. You did it with Quinnen. You did it with Logan, being able to cover out of that spot too. Go get Trey Hendrickson, please, if it can happen. I know it's a lot of money, and I know everybody gonna bring up how you gonna pay all these guys. I don't give a damn how you gonna pay them. Figure out a way to pay them under the table or find anything. But if you can go get Trey Hendrickson and you see a path, go make it happen. But I'm proud of you, Jerry. I'm proud of what you've done at this trade deadline. I've been screaming about free agency for years with the Cowboys. I feel like this gonna move the needle.
Marcus, thank you. Mike T, thank you. Appreciate you both. Thank you, Steve.
Dell, Garrett, great to see you. The day starts with Logan Wilson coming over to Dallas from the Bengals, and then most recently, Dallas acquiring Quinnen Williams from the Jets. So from your perspective, just tell us about how it all went down with all of these big moves that Jerry Jones had promised last night after that loss to the Cardinals.
Yeah, Jacqueline, great to join you here from the Star in Frisco, the Cowboys facility. And I would say I was a little skeptical last night. I was standing behind Jerry Jones post-game after their Monday Night Football loss against the Arizona Cardinals. And he said, look, I have a trade on the table. I'm leaning toward doing it. Now, a lot of people looked around, myself included, after they started the year allowing 30.8 points per game, the third time ever they've allowed over that number in their first 9 games. Their third down defense, 52.6%. That is the second highest ever tracking to be third down percentage of one game. But Quinnen Williams, that will make a difference. I mean, this pass rush, had been around league average or bottom 10 in the league in sacks, just 15 total sacks as a team. So getting one of the best interior defensive linemen in Quinnen Williams, I think could really make a difference for Dallas, both in the run game. They're a bottom 5 run defense and bottom 5 pass defense in terms of yardage allowed this season. And so I think this really does change the calculus for Dallas because, even when Dallas had cornerback injuries in years past, but Micah Parsons was on the team, they were still number 1 in the league in quarterback pressure rate. And yes, Deron Bland is out there. Trayvon Diggs isn't. I think a lot more quarterback pressure rate can certainly make cornerbacks and safeties who've been banged up also for Dallas look a little bit better. And that's certainly what Jerry's banking on here.
Garrett, we just showed the playoff picture, and you saw the Cowboys, as you know, 3-5-1 on the outside looking in here. Our Sportsline crew gives the Cowboys an 8.8% chance of making the playoffs. So you have to think there's still a sense of being skeptical about them doing this. So ultimately, what is the sense in the building there as they're making these trades when the playoffs still kind of look a little bleak at this moment? But what is the vibe there around all of these moves?
I mean, the vibe, Jacqueline, that Jerry Jones conveyed to me and other media after the game last night was, we're going to be buyers and not sellers. That's exactly what he's done here. And he said, look, I like the, quote, nuts and bolts of our roster, meaning he looks at his personnel and he sees it as a team that in the wide open NFC, in which both the Lions and Packers lost this past week, that this is a conference and that they can maybe make a playoff push. Dak Prescott said post-game last night in his press conference, he said, yeah, it's going to take a streak. We're going to need a winning streak. That's something we have to start right now. They're on the bye in week 10 this week, but then go to Las Vegas to play the Raiders on Monday Night Football in week 11. So Jerry Jones looked around and he's doubling down on his roster that he's built. He traded away Micah Parsons and has decided he's going to really go all in on the interior pass rush, getting Kenny Clark in that Parsons trade, and now Quinnen Williams. It's an interesting gamble. I mean, it makes sense, I guess, from one degree, which is the offense is a top 5 scoring offense. Entering this week 9 that just finished, Dak Prescott was top 5 in passing yards. Javonte Williams was top 5 in rushing yards. George Pickens was top 5 in receiving yards. And that trio was Dallas's first trio to be top 5 in each of their respective positions' yardage totals at this halfway point in the season, since he had Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin. So Jerry sees his quote-unquote triplets. That's not even including CeeDee Lamb, who missed 3 games with an ankle sprain. So Jerry's looking around saying, look how explosive my offense is. If I could just get a little bit more defense, maybe we could win some games. So that's certainly the bet that's being made here by Jerry Jones. And he said, look, we're buyers. He backed that talk up here this afternoon.
Garrett, one more question for you before we let you go. Jerry Jones, he said they were going to be buyers. As you mentioned, he promised a big splash. So can Cowboys fans kind of sit back and relax here down the stretch as 4 p.m. Eastern gets closer and closer? Or should they kind of be on edge, expecting any other move to happen?
I think it'd be possible for Cowboys fans to pull out a pina colada or Dr. Pepper. We're here in Texas. People love Dr. Pepper. It's a Texas brand. And relax because, Jerry Jones, he traded away, first-round draft pick compensation, traded away former first-round pick defensive tackle Mozzie Smith. Those were probably really all the big cards he had to play here ahead of the trade deadline. He's not really going to make any offensive changes. Now, he could adjust some offensive line things in the offseason at right tackle, potentially Terrence Steele. That's a conversation for another day. But yeah, I think it's safe to say here we're talking hour and 15 or so ahead of trade deadline here. I think we can relax until then.
All right, Cowboys fans. Yeah, sit back, relax, get your pina colada, and just chill out.
Now listen to this. Cowboys Nation, before I even get into the next 2 names, just do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right now. We are pushing for 10,000 subs here on Dallas Cowboys Today, and I need you to help me get there. We talk ball every day. We bleed blue every day. So smash that subscribe. Let's get this to 10K. Now, I teased this earlier in the video, but I'm keeping the suspense going. Yes, 2 players just got waived, and now they are officially free agents. And the Cowboys, the way things are trending, the way these reports and predictions are lining up, I'm telling you, these next 2 moves, they are very real, and they could hit in the next few days. We already talked about the first 2 pickups earlier in the video, the 2 that were already locked in, but now we go to the next 2, the ones that are very strongly expected, very Jerry and late November energy. This one is wild to me. Justin Simmons, still on the street, post-trade deadline. And the team that makes the most sense for him in the entire NFL is the team that just lost 3 safeties to injuries. Donovan Wilson out, Elijah Clark, still banged up Marquise Bell, not healthy. The Cowboys secondary has been a disaster statistically. Dallas right now is allowing 397.4 yards per game, second worst in the entire league, 30.8 points per game, also bottom 3 and 64 missed tackles. Only 5 teams have more. That's not tough stretch bad. That is, you are losing because of this bad. Justin Simmons solves that day one. Simmons is not a depth guy. He's not a warm body in November. He's a ball hawk with years of production, high IQ, leadership, and he doesn't bust coverages. He has 30 career INTs, 60 plus passes defended, top 10 graded coverage seasons multiple years in Denver. And the Cowboys want to keep this defense contending level after adding Logan Wilson and Quinnen Williams. Well, then you don't let Simmons walk to someone like Miami or Philly or Detroit. You finish the job. I genuinely believe this move is in the red zone. We're inside the 5. This is one of those signings where if Jerry doesn't do it, that will be the surprise. Now, the second surprise name, this one just got even more spicy. Quandre Diggs, released by Tennessee, and we already know what Jerry said. He is in natural urgency mode at 83, finally backing up his all-in talk. Diggs asked for his release. He wants a contending situation, not a rebuild. Guess what? Dallas is a contender if this defense stops bleeding. Diggs is a legit tackler, not nice numbers. I mean the exact skill set this defense is missing. Coverage, tackling, physical tone setting. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. He's not washed. He just didn't fit Tennessee's youth build. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That line in that article, that's Cowboys football right now. Imagine a safety room. Simmons plus Diggs plus when Donovan comes back, bro. That's legit. That's not patchwork. That's one of the best veteran safety rotations in the league. Cowboys Nation, I'm telling you right now, if Dallas lands both of these dudes, this defense goes from liability to weapon literally overnight. Now, I want you in the comments. Which one would you rather Jerry sign first, Justin Simmons or Quandre Diggs? Let me know. And don't forget, hit subscribe. Help me hit 10,000. We are right there. This is Victor. This is Dallas Cowboys Today. And this is the kind of aggressive November that wins playoff games.